This lady right here, do you know her? She is a president of an African country. Which one? Do you know? This one on the map. Namibia. Yes, this lady is probably the toughest president in Africa right now. And maybe the best. Why? Well, she just dismissed somebody very important in her government. The Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Industry, Mine and Energy has been dismissed. Why? Because of shady moves. What shady move? Apparently, he tried to issue petroleum licenses without consulting with the president. We gotta find out about this. What's happening, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much for stopping by. I appreciate you. My name is Zack. It's your first time. Welcome. This is home. You want to know about the motherland? You are at the right place. Let's get at it. Alright, we were talking about Namibia. This lady, very tough lady, 73 years old, just dismissed this man right here because of shady moves. She also fired another minister of agriculture, whose name is Mwekassa. Why? So he was accused of raping a young 16-year-old girl who's now 21 years old. Let's get to this. So Namibia is a very interesting country that's very beautiful people. What's interesting about Namibia? Namibia's got the oldest desert in the world. It's one of the only places where you'll find the desert and the ocean meet together. And some animals have moved to that area and have adapted to the situation. Namibia has got what we call the Fish River Canyon. The Fish River Canyon is the second largest canyon in the world after the Grand Canyon of the United States of America. Number 3, Namibia has a beautiful weather. 300 days of sunshine per year. Who wouldn't want to stay there? Namibia is also a very welcoming country. Namibia has a minister whose parents are from a different country. This lady right here, Esperance Luviando, her parents are from this country right here, DRC. But she was born in Windhoek in Namibia. She grew up in Namibia, went to school in Namibia, eventually was in parliament, then became minister. Isn't that beautiful? Well, many African countries will not do that because a lot of African people are xenophobic. Let's just put it that way. Well, they act like they love each other. They call one another my brother until one of them gets an opportunity where they live. Now, the question is, isn't there a Namibian who's born a Namibian, whose ancestry traced to Namibia, who's capable of assuming that role as a minister? Well, there are, but this lady has been gifted this opportunity as a health and social minister at 34 years old with foreign parents because Namibian people are number 1, good people, number 2, understand it has nothing to do with all of that crap that people talk about. Let's move on. Again, we cannot not talk about this. Between 1904 and 1908, Germany carried out a genocide against the Herero and Hama people in Namibia. They talk about 100,000 people being unalive just because they were Africans, and nobody talks about that. Well, people talk about that men in Germany, that's unalive people, but they don't talk about what Germany did in Africa. That was the first genocide of the 20th century. Okay, let's get back on track. Now, we were talking about this lady right here, the president of Namibia. She has fired the deputy prime minister. For what? For shady moves. Well, Prime Minister is doing things that were not authorized. What are those things? In March 2025, immediately after taking office, President Netumbo Nandi issued a presidential directive that all oil and gas decisions, including new licenses, renewals, transfers, and negotiation must be approved directly by her office before Ministry of Mine and Energy can act. So everything that has to do with oil, energy, gas, decision, renewal must pass through the president's office first before the Ministry of Energy can apply. Well, this prime minister breached it. He issued licenses, specific license to a company without necessarily checking with the presidential office. The president created a special upstream petroleum unit inside the presidency to handle this. There was a special group of people in the presidency that were assigned to deal with the petroleum and energy issue of the country. I mean, that's not for nothing. That's certainly because the president has noticed something happening in the department. What was the official reason? The official reason was strategic national interest. The real reason were control, transparency, corruption prevention, and economic leverage. So as you can see, this lady right here, 73 years old, could clearly see that things are not functioning properly. We have oil. Namibia just discovered a massive amount of oil. Now, this is a great opportunity for the country to thrive and move forward. Therefore, let's try not get this misused. We're going to control this appropriately. because she understands most Africans are just corrupt. I'm sorry. I know if another person from another race said that, you say is racist. It's the truth. You know it. Because a lot of documents you get not through the right avenues. You have to pay somebody to get those documents. How do you call that? Corruption. Anyway, let's continue. So here's the chronology. So in March, the president said, do not give any license to nobody. In September 2025, Itete, who was a deputy prime minister, reportedly approved renewal of Paragon. Paragon is a big company in Namibia. He approved the renewal of Paragon's expired exploitation license, despite Nandi's directive to place the Oil and Gas Directorate in her office. So the question that you're going to ask yourself is here. If the president say, please, everything related to oil and petroleum has to come through my office, do not issue any license without consulting with us first, and somebody issues a license, what do you think is happening? Do you think something underhanded is happening? I mean, most likely people will believe something underhanded is happening. Now, why would somebody like a deputy minister do something underhanded? Clearly, if you're dealing with a major company, they have a lot of funds. Okay, if they have a lot of funds and they don't want to go through the process, because this is a renewal, it means the company had a license in the past. It's not a brand new license that needs to be renewal. Yes, effectively, they had a license since 2011, but they have not explored anything in Namibia. They have not done any work at all. But because there's a new president, things are probably going to be different. Let's renew the license so we don't fall under the new rule that the president is about to implement. What is the best way of beating what the president is trying to do? Let's go see the minister directly, perhaps offer him a couple of millions, perhaps, I said, and maybe we can get the license. That's what most people would think. Now, clearly, after seeing that, the president felt like there must be a breach of trust here. Okay, this person, I put him into government and he's doing things that I've asked people not to do. How can I continue working with such person? Absolutely not. Now, so you can understand how tough this lady is. I mean, when she came into power, she reversed visa on arrival for many European countries. Matter of fact, Namibians could go to some European countries and Canada, I believe, visa-free many years ago. For some reason, they decided to stop it. Namibians therefore had to get visas before they traveled to these countries. Now, she extended the hand, saying, you guys can come here for free. In a way to say, let us come to you for free too, with no having to apply for a visa. Well, the Europeans snubbed and acted it in here. When she came into power, one of the first things she did was reverse that thing. All these countries, Germany, UK, France, Netherlands, Italy, Spain, United States of America, that could go to Namibia visa-free and sometimes visa on arrival, from then had to go apply for a visa just like Namibian people do before they go to the next country. Now, is that fair or not? That's clearly a woman that's very strong and knows what she wants for the country. Namibia is also a very rich country, okay? Namibia has uranium. Namibia is the world's fourth largest uranium producer. What is uranium used for? It is used for nuclear weapons and radiography and many other things. Namibia has diamonds. Namibia is Africa's largest producer by value of diamonds. Producer by value. 2 million carats in 2024. Namibia has gold, zinc, and copper, lithium, and rare earth. These are stuff that you need for smartphones, cell phone, gaming, high-tech technology, magnets, and green energy. So Namibia is not a poor country. And just now, they just discovered oil, you know. And Namibia is on the verge of becoming Africa's biggest oil producer, bigger than Nigeria and Angola. Now, this is what we're talking about. It's about license for the future exploitation of oil by 2030. What are these licenses about? The license allows a company to conduct geological survey, seismic testing, exploratory drilling for oil and gas in specific offshore and onshore block. So as you can see, Namibia is rich, okay, and many companies are trying to get inside. And for that, you gotta be fighting for a license. And you have a situation where there's a brand new president who's clearly not a pushover. Okay, after he blocked the visas from all these countries that everybody fears. I mean, South Africa cannot go to England with no visa. They have to go apply for a visa. But British can go to South Africa for 3 months, 90 days with no visa. Well, Namibia is not about that game. Since you refuse us to come to your country visa-free, you are not coming to our country. So clearly these companies can see that the lady is very strong. Therefore, let's rush into getting licenses as much as we can. If we can't get it through the presidency's office, let's go see the minister. Because maybe the minister, number one, is a man, 2, is an African, number 3, I mean, who doesn't like money? Especially in Africa. Again, you must ask yourself a question. Why did the president say from now on, everything related to oil has to come through my office? Because they see corruption, they see theft, they see dishonesty, they see lack of transparency. Is this the president Africans need right now? this mentality, the strength, and the softness of a lady, of a mother. Obviously, even God has critics. She's been criticized by Penduleni Itula. This is opposition. They say what she did violates Assignment of Power Act 1990, as a president cannot manage ministry, both accountability at parliament. So meaning she cannot be president and run personally what's happening in one specific ministry. It has to be allocated to somebody. Let me know how you feel about this, fellas. It's always a great pleasure. Namibia is a very interesting country. If you feel like you want us to talk more about Namibia, let us know in the comment section. We'll drop you some more bombs, which are very interesting. Do you feel like this is the type of president Africa needs? God bless.